So for some clarification, I brought along, this is what was provided to this board, including Mrs. Dare, Charlie Trax, and other board members that were here in 2016 and 17. And it's called the Financial Accounts Summary, once a month, by the Secretary Treasurer. And it has all of the accounts listed, including those elusive pleaded accounts that were talked about. And
What year is she on?
then there's also the profit and loss statement, once a month was given.
Who prepared those?
Judy Taylor.
Judy Taylor.
Missing competence, according to this board. And then, of course, there is
Secretary.
the profit and loss budget versus actual every month. Every month, every account.
Secretary did that
Every
too?
account, percentage, where you
Secretary
are
did
to
that
date,
too.
Wow.
how much is spent, how much is budgeted, if you were under and over budget. And then, of course, the one that was just spoken about, no El Rama. Well, it's on here too. There's page after page after page of the El Rama budget, budget versus actual, profit and loss for the El Rama sewer project. And this was provided every month. And I sat on the board from 2008 until the end of 2013. We got one every month. Every month.
Wow.
That's what a good treasurer does. And every other municipality gets one of these too. They get one. And they should get it. Because how can you approve bills when you don't know where you are in your budget? How do you know if you're under budget or over budget on engineering? How do you know if you're under budget or over budget on, let's say, building maintenance? It should be in here. That's your guide. That's your guide. You don't have a guide. And nobody seems to care that there isn't a guide. I've listened to Michelle Dupree ask for these. And there's been all kinds of excuses of why we don't have one. Your treasurer should know how to do this. That's what a competent treasurer knows how to do. We have a treasurer, we have an assistant treasurer, we have an accounting firm, and you still don't have these documents. And you should. It's so you can do your job responsibly. They've been provided forever. Larry, you were here for 38 years. Bernie, did you provide one of these to the board? You were the treasurer. It's a fact. You can dispute it all you want. It's ridiculous. And so I'm going to make an analogy here of my take on, because I've listened to the board triangulate and try to blame Michelle Dupree because somebody didn't pay a bill and there were notices sent. She just happened to be called because they called her extension. Otherwise, she would have never found out. And I can't believe I listen to these people try to, it's like a cross-examination. It's Michelle Dupree's fault. No, it is not Michelle Dupree's fault. But I will tell you what I think, in my opinion. So the unpaid water bill for the fire hydrants, to me, that is a cockroach. That's my analogy. It's a cockroach. And where there's one, there's 100 you don't see. What other bills are not being paid is my question. In my opinion, what other bills are not being paid? I've heard her say she filed attorney's bills that are over a year old that are brought to the table. Tonight she just said there was engineering bills from last year. Why? What other bills are not being paid? Where's the rest of the cockroaches? I'm sure they'll reveal themselves. Thank you.